Hey everyone, welcome to the show. This is The Highest and Best You, a show about people who are striving to reach their maximum potential. Each week we sit down with somebody in or around real estate and talk about what they're doing to reach their absolute highest and best. I'm your host, Jake Verna, and this podcast is brought to you by VRA Realty. For more information about VRA Realty, visit VRARealty.com. Today on the show, we have Sam Walls. Sam is... I'll let you talk about yourself. But start with your age.
Yeah, I'm 19, guys. That's the big surprise every single time.
I don't know if it's a surprise. I mean,
yeah, well, when you're meeting clients for the first time, they're like, "How old are you?"
I get it all the time too.
How old are you? And I'm like, old enough.
That's the right answer.
Yeah,
that's the right answer. Yeah. Although it's usually not enough for them, and then they need more explanation. But
yeah.
I don't know. Tell me about yourself. We'll get into how you got started, but I mean, just give me a quick synopsis of yourself. Start talking about your college journey and why you got into real estate.
Yeah, absolutely. So I started in property management when I was about 16. I was doing an internship. I went to the STEM Academy. I went to Pittsburgh for 1 year, not involved in real estate at all. I was studying finance. I determined that I was on a path that I didn't want to continue. I came home after passing my real estate courses while at Pittsburgh, and I joined KW about a month later after coming home, and I've been in the business for about 5 months so far, and we have currently 5 deals under contract right now. I just switched to VRA about 2 weeks ago, joining the Rob Lawrence team, and it's been fantastic so far.
Amazing. So I know your entire story already. I mean, I'm very lucky to have met. We met. It was so random.
You went on a similar path as me.
I did, and we'll get into that too. Trust me. Yeah. But let's start there. I mean, so I just want to paint the picture because it's very important. So, where did you find Rob Lawrence's investor meetup?
I met with a 22-year-old kid who was making $1 million a year as an investor real estate agent.
Okay.
And he told me to go and find an investor-friendly brokerage and a mentor. So I just did a quick Google search, found myself on Bigger Pockets, and I found Rob Lawrence on Bigger Pockets, and then that inevitably led me to VRA Realty.
Okay, so you found Rob Lawrence on Bigger Pockets, and then
I met Rob Lawrence. I went
Whoa! Let me get there. I want to tell the story.
All right.
I mean, so you found Rob Lawrence. You saw that Rob Lawrence does an investor meetup, which basically is something that for our area, Chester County. Investors that are interested in the area, they come to and they learn about real estate investing, and Rob is very heavily involved in that. So he runs one, and Sam decided, I want to go to this real estate meetup. And at a similar time, I'm still very interested, and I've been going to those events for quite some time, and I just happened to be there like super early. I remember I was just there super early. I was sitting there. I remember I wanted to get food. It's held at Timothy's in Westchester that are shut down now, but so I was sitting there. And I think you were the second person that walked in, maybe the third. I think there might have been someone sitting next to me. But you walked in, and you just sat down next to me, and you're like, "Hey, I'm Sam." And I'm like, I remember I was like not in a good mood that day. I had I don't know what happened. Like I must have had a long day or something. I did not want to be there, but I knew I had to go. And you came and sat next to me, and I was like, "What's up, dude?" I was like, "Who cares about this kid?" I mean, he looks young. He looks like he doesn't know what he's doing. But you sat down next to me. We talked a little bit. I mean, we didn't talk a lot, but we talked a little bit about what you wanted to do. And then you asked me about what I do. And I was like, I do so much. And I'm like, but, I mean, I quickly learned that you were kind of on a similar path to me. So I got this, I was like, oh my God, this is my son. Yeah. My son, he wants to do the same thing as me. I was like, this is really cool. And I also do recruiting for VRA, so it was just kind of hand in hand. You were like, I really want to meet Rob Lawrence.
And it's a match made in heaven.
I know. And then at the end of the meetup, I introduced you to Rob Lawrence, and Rob was like, nope, sorry, I don't got a spot for you.
Yeah.
That was the first thing. It was like, sorry, I don't got a spot for you. You're like, oh, okay. But we connected. I think you DM'd me on Instagram right after that, maybe a couple days after that. And you messaged me, and you were just like, I want to get together and just talk a little bit more about it. And so we set a time. You came into my office, and we started talking about, I don't think you were licensed yet. You were just about to be licensed.
I had passed all of my tests at the time, but I needed to hang my license at a broker.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
So you came to me, and I said, Sam, I don't think VRA would be good for a new agent right now. We just don't have what it takes to train a brand new agent. But KW, and that's where I started, and I'll tell people this, I started at KW, and their training is very good. I said, I think you should go to KW.
That's right.
And you were like, no, I really want to be a VRA. And I was like, you should be a VRA, but go abuse KW's training program because it's pretty good.
It's awesome, yeah.
Now VRA has a training program that is very similar to KW's from our new hire.
Yeah. Becky's amazing.
Becky's the best.
Yeah.
So now we don't have that problem with new hires. We don't have to tell them to go use KW because we have it here. But I remember I told you to go to KW. And I don't say, I'm just very honest. I'm like, I want you to succeed. So you went to KW and take it from there.
Yeah, I mean, I like I told you many times, I really appreciate your honesty. Most people, no matter what brokerage you go to, they're going to be like, yeah, we're the best. Join us, join us. And they want that, that referral bonus, whatever they offer at their brokerage.
Yeah, everyone's different, but.
Right. And Jake was one of the, Rob rejected me, and Jake told me, he's like, you should go get started at KW. And another important factor during that time was I was determining if I'm going back to Pittsburgh or not.
Right.
But I was unhappy at school, and I knew that I wanted to make a change. So I just had this feeling in me, like, I need to make real estate work.
Right.
And so that's what I did. I went to KW and I got started.
And then I think I got a call from you on another night of the investor meetup. You called me and you asked me for some advice, and you were like, I don't know if I should go back to school or if I should continue doing real estate and try to stay in this area. And I said, you need to stay in school. And at a similar time, we were also hiring Becky, the person that does the training and the coaching, and Rob so happened to have a spot open on his team.
That's right. And Rob actually had forgotten about me.
He did?
Rob saw me posting on social media, and he's like, wow, this dude makes awesome content. I love what he's doing. He's young. He's ambitious. He's starting to get deals. And he saw my energy, and he really liked that. So
it all worked out.
He actually invited me to make a video with him.
At his...
And I was already doing that. I would collab with real estate agents that love making content with me.
No matter what
make a
brokerage
fun
you're
video. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Exactly. It's all about, kind of sharing the love.
Absolutely. Yeah. I mean, that's what VRA is all about, contribution and collaboration. So.
Right.
Well, awesome, man. I think that covers the background. Well, now you're at VRA.
Right.
As of 2 weeks ago, we brought you on. You found yourself on a good spot on the Rob Waren's team.
Yeah.
Obviously,
already put 3 deals under contract. It's been amazing.
In 2 weeks. Yeah. I mean, that's awesome. I mean, my first year, I've said it 100 times. I did 0 deals in my first year, so you're killing it. I mean, really, 19 years old. Real estate's really hard, and it's overcoming that age factor is really hard. So while we're on the topic, what does that look like when you meet with someone for the first time? They're like, you look really young. I don't know if I should work with you. How do you overcome that?
Yeah, sure. I mean, it's not like that every single time. Some people are like, wow, I really respect that he's going after it like this at this age.
Yeah.
And then some people don't even question it. They're like, he's been doing great. Like, this is just his job. He does this on the norm, which I do now.
Yeah.
And then there is that subset of people. They're like, he's doing good. I really like. He's 24/7. He responds back to me quickly. He knows all the information. But how old is he?
Yeah.
And they don't want to be rude. They don't want to just simply go out there and ask me my age. So they try to ask it in different ways.
Where'd you graduate high school?
Where'd you go to school?
Yeah.
And I tell them I went to the University of Pittsburgh for a year. And I did an accelerated program at the University of Pittsburgh in studying finance. And I mean, it's never gotten to a point where they're like, I don't like you because you're young. It's just, it's simple. It's like they just move on from it. Yeah. It's not even a question anymore. They know I'm young, but they know I'm very hardworking and I get the job done. So
that's all you got to do.
Yeah.
Show them your value.
Yeah.
So you're right now, so you left Pittsburgh. You went to Pitt for a year. You are living in
Glenmore.
Yeah. Your primary market is Chester County, Pennsylvania. You're in school at Westchester University.
I'm technically a full-time student.
This is exactly my path, and I love it.
I am a full-time student at Westchester.
You're a full-time student at Westchester. You're a full-time real estate agent.
Right. But I never let that get in the way of real estate. Real estate's my number one priority.
No,
Yeah.
absolutely.
And especially my clients. When you have people trying to, make some of the biggest purchases of their entire life, that needs to be first.
It does.
Yeah.
It does. But your degree is also important.
Sure.
Are you going to continue?
Which I will be doing in real estate.
You're not going to continue at Westchester?
No. I mean, I
You
probably
could
will.
continue succeeding in real estate.
Yeah.
As
I'm just gonna crush both. I think.
I think you can. I know you can because I did.
Well, there was a point in time where I had actually dropped all of my classes. I was like, I just want to focus on real estate. I've done it all summer. I've put up with all this crap. I'm ready to go full in. And there was a lady at my last office who kind of was like, nope, you can do both.
You can.
And she was right. And I did both. And
You can.
I've gotten a lot of deals under contract.
You
And
have.
we're selling a lot of real estate.
And
so
you haven't
she
had
was
any
right.
issues.
She was right. Yeah.
And
That's
I
right.
think you're making the right decision. I think a degree is always important. And it's like,
It's also important. You need to develop relationships with your professors. I missed all 3 of my classes today, but my professors know. They're like, he's doing inspections with a client right now.
yeah,
So
that's completely fine.
you know,
That makes
it's
sense.
important. Yeah.
So, one of the main assets, whatever, of your business is social media.
For sure.
I think that's when someone says Sam Walls, or like, who's that? But then you show them a video, you're like, oh, I've seen that video before. I've seen him
Oh,
before.
it's great.
Why did you start doing social media? I mean, a lot of real estate agents don't do social media, or they all want to. They all say they want to. I want to do social media, but no one actually does social media. But you started doing social media immediately, right out of the gate.
No, I didn't. You
didn't.
I started doing it 2 months ago. It just grew very fast.
Oh, okay. So yes,
Yeah.
talk about how you started.
I was-
Why you started.
I was super scared to actually start. I was like, oh, people are going to think this is weird. All my friends are going to make fun of me. And I started, I created a new account, and I actually had the opposite effect. People actually found it, and they started reaching out to me and saying, this is really cool. I'm like, this is so cool that you're doing this. So that motivated me to keep posting, and it's just been snowballing. I mean, it's compound effect.
It is.
Yeah.
It is. I love your social media. It's
Yeah.
great. And I think a lot of other people do too. And it's because it's not boring.
I mean, yeah, and I read a lot too. I read the Millionaire Real Estate Agent book,
Yeah.
and I know that how important it is to get those touch points in, because you need to capture that mind share.
Mm-hmm.
When you think of real estate, I want you to think of Sam Walls.
That's
You
an
know,
amazing.
just like when
that's
you
an
think of
amazing mindset
shoes,
to
you
have.
think Nike,
Yep.
Adidas.
No, that's an amazing thought to have. Yeah. So, what is your most successful platform, and is there one that you double down on more?
I mean, I have like 11,000 on TikTok. That's a pretty big audience.
That is a very big audience.
Which you can leverage as well. I mean, it's super important. Like when I take a listing, for example, people are seeing that listing, and I'm targeting the location that it's in. So like you can target the location on every post. You can run ads for it. So just being able to leverage that audience and just getting as many eyeballs onto that property as possible is pretty
because it's
amazing.
then a selling point for your clients.
But I mean, we post on YouTube, we post on TikTok, we post on Instagram, and we post on Facebook.
What's your favorite type of style to make, or style of content to make?
Just probably entertainment,
The
the
funny
funny
stuff?
stuff.
Yeah,
Everyone loves the funny stuff. I mean, it's great. You make people laugh. I had a guy when I posted that
Which one?
that Halloween post with the unicorn.
Yeah.
I had a guy message me, and he goes, "When my girlfriend and I buy a house, we're using you as our agent."
That's awesome.
Like completely unprovoked. He just messaged me. He was like, "This is so funny." Like I
That
just
is
love
awesome.
this. And it allows me to share my true, authentic self with people, and I feel like it makes me a lot more approachable, which is important. People need
I
to
agree.
understand I'm professional,
Yeah.
but I'm going to treat you well. I treat others the
agree.
way they want to be treated.
I agree. I think you approach it the right way. And a lot of agents, they just don't know where to start, and then they're like, "Let me talk about interest rates," and it's like,
Right. Yeah. I mean,
interest
I got a
rates.
lot of pushback. People are like, "You need to post value." I was like, "You mean you want me to post the boring square boxes that no one pays attention to?"
you'd get nothing.
No.
But then when they reach out to you,
Exactly.
answer their questions.
Then you educate.
Simple as that.
There's the value. Yeah.
yeah, I think not trying to force feed education down. Nobody cares about.
No one does.
Nobody
They're like
cares.
inspections. Like I'm not buying another house for 5 years.
Yeah.
Like
But I mean, when you have a question about inspections, and you know what to do.
you know where to reach out.
So, Rob Warren's team.
Mhm.
I think we had. Did we have Rob on? We had Rob on. And I don't know if that was posted yet, but Rob is awesome. Rob's team is awesome. They're a very big part of VRA Realty. Rob and his team, it's unique because I was on a team, and the team I was on was structured a lot different than the way Rob structures his.
Mhm.
Rob cares about his team.
Yeah.
Everyone on his team has a purpose or a strength than everybody else. Just talk a little bit about that. And
I think
where you find the value.
I think you hit the nail right on the head there, because Rob and we can go back to the point. Rob rejected me the first time I reached out to him.
But why did he reject you?
He rejected me because he couldn't provide me enough value. The value exchange wasn't there.
Yeah.
Once he saw me succeeding on social media, he was like, okay, there's this, and someone had left his team as well. A spot opened up. He could give me leads. He could give me the access and mentorship which I wanted.
Exactly.
And I could help his team out with social media as well. And we're doing that.
It's a win-win.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean,
and Rob is truly amazing. The team has like kind of this like family bond.
It does.
Which is extremely special. You're not just a number on that team.
Yeah.
And Rob is truly an amazing leader.
Yeah. And we hope we can create more teams like Rob. Rob's our only team in the office, and we're hoping we can get another team like Rob's one day, because Rob doesn't have any more spots now.
It'd be really hard to beat Rob's
team. Of course it's going to be hard to beat, but maybe somebody can replicate it. Yeah. I mean, it is awesome.
And he got me at the prime age. I'm only 19. Think about how many years left I have in this industry.
Oh, God.
Yeah.
Too many.
Yeah.
And
part of the reason Part of the
reason be 80 years
I love
old.
Scott. Scott and I
like Scott too. We need to have Scott on.
Scott and I trash talk each other so much. It's like all we do in the office. But he's also an amazing resource as well. He has so much experience. Yeah, absolutely.
He's been doing it for a really long time, and he is very insightful. All right, so let's get away from real estate for a second. I mean, obviously you dedicate a lot into real estate. You're doing school. What do you do with your other hours of the day?
Yeah, I mean, I go to the gym and I
Okay.
read, and sometimes I get to hang out with friends, and I work hard. That's pretty much it. That's what I like
That
to
sounds
do.
boring. What else do you do?
It's pretty boring. I mean, I always reserve time way ahead, way in advance, because people are always wanting to do showings. They always want my attention.
Absolutely.
And, I always want to be there for them, but I want to schedule in advance. Like, I'm hanging out with my friends on these 2 days here, and I'm not going to be reachable.
Yeah.
And my clients know that. I'm just letting them, like, hey, it's going to take me longer to respond.
Yeah.
Okay.
Set that expectation.
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah, you got to stay sane. It's a work-life balance.
I mean, I tell you that I work, like, I love what I do.
Yeah.
And I love the game.
It
like,
helps.
I wouldn't be able to work
it.
as hard if I didn't love what I do.
It definitely helps when you love it. Yeah,
absolutely,
for sure.
Yeah.
Talk a little bit. What do you do at the gym? What's your routine?
I mean, I do, and I actually, so I go to Alpha Flight Fitness, and I actually have a trainer who's right now designing a new workout program for me. But I mean, I would just do chest, back, arms,
Shout him
legs. Alpha Flight?
No, who's the trainer?
Oh, Keith Longman.
Is it Keith?
Yeah.
Nice.
Keith's amazing. He's one of my favorites. We joke around all the time.
He used to bust my balls every day I was in there, and I don't know if you met it or not, but let's talk about some of your long-term goals. You're very young. You're very fresh in the industry. So am I. I'm only 22 years old. It took me up to this point. I mean, I feel like I'm seasoned now. I'm not actually seasoned, but I know a lot.
Yeah.
What are some of your goals? Obviously, to sell a lot of houses, but is there more than that? Is there investing involved in that?
I would love to get my first property this year. Actually, I do want to absolutely, and that was one of the reasons I joined the team too. Is I mean, they exceed in the investor market.
Yeah,
and that was a skill set that I want to acquire. Whether it's BRRRRs, fix and flips, etc. They're gonna have me kind of tackle live and flips and house hacking, working with kind of first time home buyers and newer investors trying to break into this market.
Cool. So is that first one end of 2025?
No, but probably like first year on the team, and I joined the team 2 weeks ago, and I think that's easily accomplishable.
Sure.
And
I'll say end of 2025. I think you can do it.
I think so too. And Zach and Rob, I know, and Scott, they all have my back.
They do. You have access to capital, which is huge.
Right. Absolutely.
Yeah. That's some of the hardest part about being that first time investor is the access to capital.
Yeah.
You have it.
Yeah. Absolutely.
So, for more information on that, reach out to me and say it's very private, low key access to capital. Nobody knows about it.
And I got a lot of commission checks coming in.
Of course, yeah, money coming in.
And
gotta pay the bills.
And I have multiple buyers that I'm working with right now, and I'm going to help them get into homes, and it's going to be amazing.
That's awesome, man.
Absolutely. I mean, I got kicked out of guys. I've done a lot of different types of lead gen. I got kicked out of 5 neighborhoods because I was door knocking so much.
Yeah.
I started getting a solicitor permit actually.
For neighborhoods?
Just so I could door knock. Yeah.
Really?
Because I kept getting kicked out of. People are nasty sometimes.
So what do they say when they kick you out?
They're like, you're not supposed to be here. There's a no solicitor sign right there. I'm like, no, there's not.
Do they like put your name on a list and say like no more?
No,
Walls?
they're just like,
if we see your face near again, we're calling the police.
Right? Yeah, exactly.
Really?
Yeah. And I mean, you need to as a professional, you need to de-escalate the situation.
That's the professional thing to do.
You kind of just have to take a step back.
I would say 90% of realtors don't do the professional thing, and they would be like, I want to be here.
Yeah,
but that's good then. You're doing the professional
you don't want to create enemies, and what do you know? I mean, I'll have a listing in that neighborhood soon. Actually, there's one coming up. So.
Awesome. That's awesome. That's great to hear.
They'll get another knock from me soon.
Before we wrap up, 18-year-old wants to get their license. They don't know what to do. What's one piece of advice you're going to give them?
I'd give them a few pieces of advice. Number one, never miss a day, because sometimes you get lucky and you'll never miss your lucky day if you never miss a day. Number two, I would go into Google Sheets, Excel, whatever you use, create a spreadsheet, open it up, put the name, just start getting leads. Put the name, the contact information, build out that list, keep building it. I mean, I know they give you like every single brokerage has like their own CRM. Yeah. I'm a Google Sheets guy, and it's becoming hard to manage. So that's where
that's where you want
using the CRM. But I mean, but to get started, and that's how I started.
Yeah.
And then every single day, you're making touch points, right? And you need to make sure you're contacting that entire list, assuming that list is purchasing real estate in the next 90 days, right?
Yeah. Awesome. Well, great stuff, Sam. Thank you so much for coming on.
Absolutely.
Man. I appreciate it.